Just a little bit over a month ago, us Pokemon fans received a brand new trailer displaying our new games. And while it might not have been Diamond and Pearl remakes, we still got a very exciting reveal with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. The original Pokemon Sun and Moon was fantastic, and I'm extremely excited to revisit the region of Alola. But this time around, there are some things I would love for them to add to really enhance the experience for all of us. Without any further ado, here are my top 5 hopes for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Alola was very expansive and had unique and fresh locations contained in the region, but of course some new locations to explore are always welcomed. Personally, I would love to explore that golf course on Akala Island. Also, some more secluded secret islands, cities, and more. I would also love to see an actual Po Town before Team Skull took it over and destroyed it, but more on that later. They could also add more non-story related locations for the post-game to explore. Lots of Pony Island was actually left untouched for the post-game, which I thought was a really nice touch and is something that they could add to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Another Exeggutor Island type would also be very cool for the post-game as well. A place with high-level Pokemon and maybe some Pokemon you can't catch anywhere else. A main island, in my opinion, may be too much to ask for, but it could be possible, although I wouldn't get my hopes up. If they did include that though, that would be really the thing that blows the original Sun and Moon out of the water. And speaking of water, the previous games were critically panned for having too many surfing sequences. Now, in the next region, completely surrounded by water, the surfing sequences feel a little bit lackluster in my opinion, which is why in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I really hope that we get some more surfing sequences. I understand that surfing from island to island would be a little bit too much since they're quite far from each other. But the surfing in the original Sun and Moon feels kind of underutilized, especially if you take into consideration that there's a new feature of ride Pokemon and you can't really ride them on many locations. So that was kind of disappointing, and I hope that they add more surfing to the new games. For example, surfing from Konikoni City to Heya would be a very nice touch and would add more variety of surfing. After all, they are right next to each other, so surfing from the port of Konikoni right over to Heya would make it feel like they're actually very close to each other. Doing this could really make it feel like it's a real region. They've always done a very good job of making these places feel real over the past 20 years, and I think that this is one way that they could even do more of a great job with that. They could also perhaps make Seafoam Village much bigger. You can actually surf in between the platforms and actually have wooden platforms in the distance that you would need to surf to. If those options are too unrealistic, I think it's more practical to maybe just expand the lakes you can currently surf on in the original Sun and Moon, perhaps add some story sequences, secrets, and trainers. The storyline in Sun and Moon was very good and something that was unique to Sun and Moon. They really tried all new things, and the story was something that strayed away from the normal formula but was still familiar and enjoyable. That being the case, there are some things I would like to change. Of course, there is the whole alternate worlds thing that I am never really a fan of, no matter what series it is. But that's just a minor nitpick for me personally. Really where I felt Sun and Moon kind of fell short in was Team Skull, which was a bit underutilized in my opinion. The Aether Foundation kind of stole the show, and while the Aether Foundation story arc was really good, I still wish we got to see more of Team Skull. I would say we have a shot to see them again, but the name says it all. Ultra Sun and Moon, which will most likely be more about Ultra Beasts, which is something I'm okay with. I really like Ultra Beasts, and maybe Team Skull will still return. No matter what the case may be, Game Freak will exceed with the story just like Sun and Moon and every other game, but I would like to see at least a mention or maybe the origins of Team Skull. Like perhaps we get to see Po Town before Team Skull took it over and we can see their origins there. In Sun and Moon, all throughout Alola are empty lots, with construction around them and no explanations as to why they are there. Many are saying gyms are returning, which wouldn't surprise me and is something I would really love. While trials were super fun and fresh, I think it's time for gyms to return. The excitement of taking down a gym and getting a badge just isn't the same as a trial, and while I'm glad to see Game Freak are trying new things, I really want to see Alolan gym leaders and put my team to the test. There are many things pointing to the fact that these might be gyms. For example, there are 8 of them scattered throughout Alola in major cities. One question though is, why are the empty lots there to begin with if this game takes place in a different timeline? Meaning, why would there be construction if it's never going to be built in the version of Alola that we just played last year? My best guess is that they just couldn't fill in anything there. They didn't want to put a random shop or a random building down wherever they have empty lots. So they said, well, if it's going to be the same region and the same engine, that we'll just put down a random empty lot there to hint that there's something coming next game, and this way we don't have to just put in filler, we can actually have something substantial. There might be 8 of these empty lots, but there is a little part of me that doesn't fully believe that there are gyms. Some of them are in obscure locations, so for that, I'm guessing that you could probably build a house to expand on what we had in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire with secret bases, except that it can be kind of a summer home, which would be really cool actually. Wherever the case may be, it's really exciting to know that these empty lots definitely have some sort of significance. So we're definitely getting some kind of new building or new attraction wherever these lots are. Recently, a YouTuber by the name of Kazo War data mined Pokemon Sun and Moon's files to find a gold mine of Pokemon walking animations for every single Pokemon. I know, that's pretty crazy. This pretty much confirms that at one point or the other, whether or not it's this game or the alleged, or not alleged, the confirmed Switch game to come out in the near future, we don't know when this is coming out, but hopefully it comes out with Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and if it does, man, that would really give it the substantial kind of sequel thing and really just kind of distinguish it from the original Sun and Moon. I know a lot of people are skeptical of whether or not Game Freak are just doing this to get a cash grab, which I personally don't think that they're doing this just for money. I think that they have a pretty good story ahead of them, but this could be the confirmation for some people to actually go out and buy the game, to actually know that it's not just a remake, that it is actually a sequel with brand new things. Thank you guys so much for watching my top 5 Pokemon Sun and Moon hopes. I hope you enjoyed watching. I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you subscribe. But before you click off the video, be sure to subscribe because I'm making a big new series where I'm going to be covering the top 10, 15, or 20, I don't know the number yet, but one of those of my favorite Pokemon soundtracks from each region, all leading up to my favorite 20 favorite songs from Pokemon of all time. Personally, I think Pokemon has the best video game soundtrack ever. They're so nostalgic and they're just so well made. I love them, so I really hope you guys stick around for that video. Also, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, please stay tuned because this D23, this Saturday, I'm going to be covering whatever comes out. I'll be making a trailer analysis and my thoughts, so I hope you guys stick around for that. That's going to be really fun, and you can watch my predictions if you're still waiting. If D23 came out already, you're awesome. If Kingdom Hearts 3 came out already, I wish I was you. Alright, bye.